Joey Logano in his Penske Ford out on the track right now as you are watching pole qualifying for the Daytona 500 live on Fox. And this is WinTrack's actual weather data. These are wind molecules. And Carl, we showed this to Greg and he got a little dizzy and confused and trying to figure, but he somehow applied it to what he was doing. Now, when you sat on the pole 2 years ago, Greg Biffle was second, your teammate, and he was annoyed at that. You think he could top it?
Yeah, he was not happy. He looked really happy when he got out of his Ford there, but he was not happy a couple years ago. That WinTrack's pretty cool. I think we all try to do that. We try to guess where to run. You watch Joey come off the corner and you try to hide from the wind and get the tailwind, but that would be useful information in the car if we could have it.
So is your plan to run right next to the wall, then right to the bottom, or will you mix it up? Joey dove low when he came off turn 4 to get the green. That's another strategy, and we saw Greg kind of diamond the corner, if you will, up in the middle of the turn and then down. That's interesting.
What I'm wondering is if Barry Landis can actually show us Greg's complete lap again, just for me, because I'm going to do it. I'm going to do whatever he did. That worked really well.
This is the fastest first lap I've seen. That's his second lap. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's my fault.
Barry Landis is our producer / crew chief. He'll help you out on that. I did want to ask you, going out late, Carl, versus early. Obviously, you can take notes, but the wind could be a factor. Conditions a little bit different. Does it matter much for you?
When we got the pole here, the wind was blowing down the back straightaway. When I went, the wind just quit after my lap. As Joey puts it in 6th position there with another Ford, a good run for them.
Copy. Got through 1 and 2, nice. Car looked good right on the bottom, following that line.
All right, 21:89 is the time. Josh Wise in the Dogecoin Chevrolet. A 16-year-old from Chicago. Notice Josh Wise having a good run in an underfunded car early this season and got all his fellow shives on Reddit.com's NASCAR forum to chip in these Dogecoins, which is an internet cryptocurrency. And they sponsored the car at Talladega. Phil Parsons, the owner, said, we'll leave it on for the All-Star race. Do you think you could vote him in? Now, last night we said that one fella said he voted 84,000 times. Well, he recanted today. He said, I didn't really keep count, but I did vote a lot. And so did a lot of his friends from that forum because he won the fan vote handily. And we checked with NASCAR because of all the CAPTCHAs and the other things that they do to prevent automated voting. This was just a lot of people spending a lot of time at their computer to get Josh Wise and the Dogecoin car legitimately into the race with the fan vote.
If you remember, Larry and I remember at Darlington, the 98 car, he was outrunning the leaders for a good part.
And Bristol.
Trying to stay on the lead lap. Bristol. Trying to stay on the lead lap, outrunning the leaders. We've seen this car and this driver do some pretty neat things.
Gene Need is the crew chief. And I like what one woman tweeted this afternoon. She said, these fellas on Reddit, just like a good crew chief, they read the rules, they exploited them to their advantage, and they won.
4,
good for
3,
them.
2, 1,
Matt.
wheel straight.
Mike once in, Phil Parsons, he didn't go and hire some ringers. These are his regular over-the-wall guys for the 98 team. Rocco Antonio, the front changer. RB Brackett, the rear changer. Carriers, Aaron Pyrat, and David Gates. And Jackman Kevin Teagan. They've got Kenny Evans, the gas man. He was helping with the tires as well.
Okay, a little slow on the left rear at 19.5.
But Mike, regardless, this is a race team that races every week. Phil Parsons Racing and Josh Wise, they race a lot with blank quarter panels. This weekend is worth roughly $100,000 to this race team. That's huge.
And that's dollars, not Dogecoin.
That's real dollars.
Josh is a great guy. Good guy.
Yeah, triathlete.
He loves to ride his bicycle.
He even does that Ironman competition.
Ironman, you name it. He is in great shape, and he is a great kid.
Former open wheel champion. And he will be 19th. In the lineup, Carl Edwards, in his 9th All-Star appearance, has won.
Now, it's as if he got the green right here. Now, this will be the lap where he'll see what he's got.
really gets off the corner.
Picked it up.
18.99, and Kyle Busch goes to the pole. Now Kenseth is quicker. Harvick.
He lost ground all the way down the length of the back straightaway, though. Now going through 3 and 4, it's starting to go back to green.
That low line worked.
Looks pretty good right there.
Kenseth goes to the pole, 38.43.
Well, I don't think he's going to do it, though. You can see he's over a 1/10.5 slower.
Joey, 27.939.
That was on lap 1, 14.761.
That's all he had,
That's
Larry.
all he needs. And unbelievable.
A quarter of a second faster for Brad Keselowski to the top.
The crew chief from this rookie looking to make his first 500 start. He did run 2 Cup races last year, Texas and the season finale at Homestead. And he has super speedway experience. He won the Camping World Truck Series race at Talladega in 2012.
now, he's 23 years old, but he's been running stock cars for a number of years. In fact, 4 or 5 years ago, he was running in the ARCA Series, and he called his crew chief on Monday morning to discuss the weekend's race. And the crew chief finally said, "Why are you whispering?" He said, "Because I'm on the school bus, headed to school."
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
Well, he's from Westport, Connecticut, where most people run to the commuter train to get to work in New York City.
Yeah, he won 9 races that rookie season and lost the championship in the ARCA Racing Series by 5 points, which is essentially 1 position throughout the course of the year.
And Mike, coming into this qualifying session at the beginning, one of the big stories, the wind, and we're an hour and a half into this session, almost halfway through as far as the number of drivers, and essentially the wind speed has not changed. It's been right about 8 to 10 miles per hour the entire hour and a half.
Kligerman crosses the line 16th, picks up 3/10 from his first lap to lap number 2, 46.48. So far, he's done it 46.42 by a 1/10 of a second. Top of the chart for Austin Dillon. The 23-year-old rookie runs 45.91.
Jamie McMurray hasn't given up hope on the pole. The tracker is in the green as he comes down through that fast portion of the racetrack. A.J. Allmendinger at the top, but McMurray a great run out 11. How about that Cessna Chevrolet flying to the top of the board? To the top of the board.
Contention a million times to win this thing.
Yeah, his
That's a good lap.
86 laps led here.
Wow, look at Jeff Gordon just laid one down. And hard 35,198. That is
204.5 miles an hour.
That is incredible. And that is good enough to best our track record. A new one for Kevin Harvick. Brad Keselowski goes quickest, 49.610, and Denny Hamlin
got that
him.
draft.
He went 49.61.
Time to go. Here we go.
Tempest Fugit.
Here we go. Now the mad rush.
I just think those Childress drivers, they're going to stick together, and I think they're going to be in a good position, led by Ryan Newman in that 31.
Oh, I totally agree.
Carl Edwards in the 99 has no friends. He is the only Ford among the 12 cars out here. He is going to have to catch that duo in front. That's Kurt Busch and Jeff Gordon. I don't think they have time to come around twice.
No, they're going to come by. They're going to have just about enough time to make a lap. That's it.
And I think that's all they wanted to do. Again, Richard Childress Racing got burnt yesterday in Nationwide Series qualifying by running too many laps in the final session.
So they learned from what happened yesterday. These guys all watched. I watched all the crew chiefs, drivers, all the Cup guys were watching qualifying yesterday.
I think the place to be is at the tail end of this big pack. Those two cars trailing, Danica Patrick and the car behind her, are in the best chance to run a catch-up lap second time by.
Let's tell them they're just kind of playing with the throttle right now, trying to get themselves in the right spot.
1 minute 6 to go. You might have time to make it around and run another lap.
I think they'll get 2 laps in.
But that pack just slowed down, Larry. They slowed down. I'm not sure what the game are playing, but they slowed down a little bit going by.
Tony Stewart has the quickest lap, but that was not a lap at full speed. 59 seconds. They will make it back and have a chance to run a... Carl Edwards, Tony Stewart hanging back. Edwards to the top, Stewart to the top. Stewart, and he's in the best position if he can close. Scott in the 33 close racing once again.
He got a great suck up that time to Paul Menard in the 27.
This is it. This is for the pole. Here they come to the line. Kurt Busch, Austin Dillon, Brian Scott. Scott does it.
That run, he got them 3 and 4, Mike. I don't think he's going to be able to take flag.
Denny Hamlin is 6th, 27.96. Here comes Harvick. You see the clock on the upper right. Watching the flagman. Will he make it before time expires? No, he does not.
It'll be good for Brad Keselowski here.
Top of the chart, 27.75. And Jimmy Johnson knocks him off by 0.05 of a second.
Yeah, almost 0.2 of a second faster for Jimmy than he did the last round.
Johnson to the pole, a 10th off the track record.
Momentum, you want to get that guy behind you. So when he comes up there, he gives you a shove off. And so it's not necessarily blocking as much as it is taking advantage of the air and you know, trying to get in front of that guy that has a little momentum. And then that is kind of blocking, but that's part of racing, and we've always done that. I mean, it's more so restrictively racing than maybe a Michigan or a Richmond or something.
What happens, Chris, it's simple. If you block, you get in front of a guy, it slows his momentum down, and you get his momentum. So it's a win-win for you if you can pull off the move. Just think about Dale Jr. last night. He pulled up right up in front of Ryan Newman. Newman gave him a big push. Around James Murray, he went for the lead. That's how you're going to have to work in order to be up front of Daytona.
And the guy behind you is just as important sometimes as the guy in front of you, just as critical.
That's why you see those guys looking in the mirror the whole time. Their eyeballs are, how much do you think you look in the mirror compared to the front window?
My eyes are screwed up for a week because I'm like...
We'll be watching the 3 and 4. Have fun out there today and through the week, and we'll see you a week from Sunday here at the Daytona 500. Greg, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, Greg Biffle in the 16 Roush Fenway Ford. Let's go back upstairs to Phil, Clary, and Mike.
Thanks, Chris. Dave Blaney went out on track, and coming up to speed, something went wrong. He drove straight to the garage. But NASCAR took the time to send their people out around, look at the track, make sure there was no fluid put down. So you've not missed a car as Eric Almirola makes his run, and he's the fastest Ford in town right now. Driving the Smithfield Ford for Richard Petty, 3rd fastest, 46.23.
More cause for optimism for Greg Biffle.
Yeah, he was flirting with a front row coming off turn 4, lost a little ground here on the short straightaway, headed back to the checkered flag.
So Almirola looking forward to his 4th Daytona 500.
Ended up finishing outside the top 10 at Pocono. And a look now at Juan Pablo Montoya driving the 12 car, SKF colors.
Boy, and it's funny. Down in pit lane, it looks like a traffic jam. Everybody's just jockeying and just trying to get in position to beat the next guy out.
Montoya goes out and makes another run here. Now, Montoya right now is 28th. Not good enough to advance to round 2, but good enough to be in the field, something based on owner points, because this 12 car not running full time, you have to be concerned with.
And watching that go into turn 1, he was in the green, but then stepping up the racetrack, and you saw it instantly go back to the red.
But here again, into turn 3, and you start seeing the tracker really work in his favor, much like we saw with Casey Kane, starts losing some ground, but it would appear this lap going to be good enough to put him inside the top 24. He goes to 19. Justin Allgaier is the bubble man right now. We do have a new track qualifying record, as you see Montoya coming to the stripe. No better for him. Harvick setting the pace, 35.295 seconds for that Budweiser Chevrolet.
Returns. Montoya has run 4 laps, if we look at the lap chart here. The second time out, everybody got faster. The third time out, everybody got, but that 4th lap is the slowest lap that Montoya has run.
And Chris, I would say the Hendrick drivers are done. Jimmy Johnson right now is 5th. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is 7th. Gordon in the top 10. Casey Kane is 14th. He's got to be feeling pretty safe at this stage.
If this group, if they don't pick up some speed, they're going to roll off the banking. They've just about stopped over there.
See, Josh Wise has slid in with them. Denny Hamlin is there, and 2-time Sprint Cup champion Terry Labonte also joining this group.
Yeah, there's just you got one group riding up on the banking of those 6 drivers, and then look at the bottom, and it's like, okay, who's going to make the move here and go where we can maybe get lined up and try to run you guys down?
Wow. Well, there are some big name drivers.
Larson is holding them back. He's going to make sure that group on the inside, they're not going to go back out on the racetrack.
Yep. Yeah. And Terry Labonte has abandoned ship. He will come down pit road. All those Fords will, and now the Chevrolets join them, including that group from Ganassi Racing. And Denny Hamlin also going to come back down the pit lane. And this has got to be frustrating, Marty.
Behind you, that's the 3 car.
Well, guys, a lot of frustrated drivers. You can hear them on the radio. The busiest guys are actually the spotters. Denny Hamlin communicating with his spotters saying, let's get these guys together. We can all get in if we can get a group that's willing to run together. But there's more politicking to keep guys outside of the top 24 than trying to get into the top 24, it seems like.
Y'all made it that time. Barely. You made it. Flags are out now. So watch the gaps. See who gets the big runs. See, Blaney had a run, but nowhere to take it. If he could have gone to the outside there, he would have had a real run that could have made a big difference. Lap tracker says to keep an eye on A.J. Allmendinger in the 47, but he's going to run out of space right there. Yeah, that just slowed that progress completely. Terry Labonte might be in a good spot here if he can get a push. All right, watch the times. Here they come.
Come on, Terry. Your first ever favorite driver. Oh.
Brian Vickers.
Oh.
196 miles an hour. Kyle Busch, green flag. Just a little bit of spark right there. See, that's a much smoother transition. You see that all the time as you enter the back. This is not qualifying. Paul Menard, Dale Jr., and now Kurt Busch leaving the pit lane while Kyle comes around to complete his lap. It'll be plenty good to get the top spot for now.